Hello, good people. How are you doing today? This is Dustin Coyle. You are listening to the Intelligent Thoughts podcast. And once again, this is the Daily Wager. We're Wednesday, April 19th, 2017. And as you well know, we're sitting in the midst of the first round of the NBA. That's basically the only thing going on the Daily Wager right now. Yesterday, we were like 6 points away from pulling what was that? I think it was like 19-1. If you had the Hawks, the Hawks, the Clippers, and the Bulls. Not the Hawks, the Bucks, the Bulls, and the Clippers. It was a 19-1 payday. Had that one on one of those parlays, would have been big. Instead, we end up losing like 2 or 3 units overall because of that Bulls upset. Thankfully, though, we parlayed that so we didn't get crushed on our overs or on our favorite parlays there. And that was basically my whole point of what I was talking about the day before. You pick a couple of people that could get the upset, parlay those as well. And if they do, which happened yesterday, we only lose like, $3 or $4 or 3 or 4 units or whatever it is because of that. Obviously, it wouldn't have been our first pick to take the Bulls, Clippers, and Toronto. That would probably be the second or third. That would have probably been my third pick yesterday. So that there's really no way you're going to go into the day and just try to throw that down. But it's not a bad idea to you. And then once again, if we would have won with the favorites, we would have been ahead overall too. So there's a few ways. There's like 3 ways we could have been ahead overall, and then 2 ways we could cut our losses a touch. Basically, that's going to be the way we're going to go ahead and do it today as well. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at shit. So we got another 3 games today. It's I can't figure out if it's harder or easier. It's definitely harder with 3 games, but I don't know that it's necessarily more advantageous. I think that with 2 games, it's almost entirely advantageous. It's pretty easy to pick them, especially if we're talking about wider spreads like it was on whatever Monday or whatever it was. How those 2 spreads were somewhat wider, the Spurs and the Cavaliers. It's easier to pick heavy on the favorites in that one and then bet smaller on the parlays, which would end up being massive anyway. Those are probably the easier, better days. And really, we could go 2 team parlays anyway here. But in order to do that and make that work, you have to lay off the third game pretty much entirely. Actually, that's pretty much what we're doing anyway, except we're just adding the third game that we think is pretty much a shoe-in, as in last night. We didn't put the Jazz in any parlay. Kept the Clippers as a general shoe-in. A little bit risky to do that. And then tonight, we'll do it with the Warriors. We'll see. Just to add a little bit of value there to the other parlays. And other than that, we are basically just doing a 2-game parlay. So let's get into it. Starting right now, we have in the NBA tonight a couple of games let's click this. Five o'clock, we have the Atlanta Hawks at the Washington Wizards. The Wiz won game 1. Let's pull up the NBA app here. And Washington wins 114-107 in the first game. I think 25 points for Schrader, 19 for Paul Millsap. Not a fantastic. Only 7 from Hardaway, 7 from Dwight Howard. 32 and 14 for Johnny Wall. Beal 22, Morris 22. Really, really good game there. Gortat outplays Dwight Howard pretty significantly. 14 points, 10 rebounds. Oubre, 11 off the bench. They look really fucking good again. Good home team, and they're playing at home today. I didn't really ever like the Hawks in this. I think that it's kind of strange that the Hawks the spread is the closest of all the spreads. Said it before, say it again. I still don't see that. That's just, really, really... The Hawks never really looked like a good team. They finished well, but they always looked like shit. So I don't like them. The Wizards, I think, were what? Let's take a peek. Minus 215 today, so it's, essentially the same exact spread that we had in game 1. and I like them to win. So honestly, at 215 to give me 2-1 odds that the Wizards are going to win this game, I might even take that as a straight money line as well. But that kind of doesn't really make any sense. Let's just throw it in our little parlay combo, and just get the odds out of it. All right, we move on. 6 o'clock. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the TNT or ESPN or something game. First game NBA TV. This one going to be TNT. Oklahoma City at Houston. First game. Pretty much a blowout. 118-87. I think it was even more of a blowout than that at one point. Russ 22-11-7. 18 for Roberson. 37, 7 and 9 for James Harden. Beverly with 21 and 10. Capella with 14. 15 for Nene. Great game for James Harden. They looked really good. Spread the ball around. Shot really well. I expect more of the same today. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't see that. So, I mean, that's pretty much where we're at. Obviously, I like the Rockets to win again. Let's take a look at the spread. Minus 360. Pretty sure that's almost exactly what it was the other day. I think they were like 375. And I think it was earlier today, too. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, it was, because Oklahoma City was a 310 positive. So, again, if I had to pick here, I think this spread should be closer. I think this should be a minus 300, minus 280 situation. Oklahoma City could definitely steal a game. They looked really flat-footed, I guess I would say, or just kind of like downtrodden in game one against Houston. You know, it seemed like Russ was basically forced to do, this is going to be a tough one, actually. The energy of Russ to go against Harden, that's actually going to not benefit Russ. That it would be better if he had to go against anybody else in the league, I think, because Harden can outplay him at his position every game possible. Like, he legitimatately can outplay him every game at his position, which would obviously, if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder and they are relying on Russell Westbrook to win them the game. The way they played on Monday or Sunday or whatever. I mean, no, but Roberson stepped up. Roberson, a horrible fucking shooter, stepped up. They truthfully had nothing going for them other than, a 22-point performance from Russell Westbrook, which clearly isn't going to be. The Rockets let off the gas like halfway through the fourth quarter, and they still put up 118 points. They're a fucking powerhouse. That team is a powerhouse. One of the best shooting teams of all time in the history of the earth, even compared to any of these Warriors teams. Tough matchup. I guess that's probably where that spread's coming from. You do think that Oklahoma City should be a little bit closer, but they're definitely more tired. You can tell they've been through a shitload. They expelled a shitload of energy, Russ especially, just to get to the point where they're at. And Houston looks fresh and on fire. So we're taking these as over parlays. I don't even know that it really even matters the teams once you pull this other thing. But let's take a look at the third game real quick before we get too into it. The first game was better than it should have been, or than anybody thought it was going to be. I think it was a 121-101 victory for Golden State. This one we have Portland at Golden State again, game 2. The Blaze played well, actually, in game 1. Lillard had 34 points, 41 points from McCollum, which was pretty fantastic. Nobody else did a whole lot. Vonleh with just 2 points. I said that was going to be one of the people that needed to step up in order for Portland to win the game, because they needed to take advantage of the lack of size for Golden State. Aminu has 0 points. Alan Crabb in 21 minutes with 3 points. Obviously not a good enough performance from anybody other than the big two. It's clear as day. Golden State just gets a great performance from everybody. Kevin Durant, 32 and 11. Draymond Green, 19, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 incredible steals, 5 dope-ass blocks. Shoots 60%, makes 3 threes. Fucking incredible, man. Incredible performance for him. 29 points for Steph Curry. What do I expect? More of that same. What in the fuck are they going to do with Draymond Green, the monster, the best defensive player in the league this year? I talked about it on my playoff preview, my defensive player of the year, and then he comes out and puts out a performance like that and fucking incredible. Love it. You know who's going to win the game. Spread's a minus 1,400. I don't think that if they played 14 times, Golden State would win every time. So obviously I think that's stupid. But, they're going to win the game most likely. Anyway, so let's take a look at this whole little fucking situation. We're going to take Portland out of the situation, and we're going to add the Golden State money line to all of our other things. So one of them, well, I think what I did here again is basically the same thing as yesterday. Won't be quite as good a payout as yesterday. So not necessarily as much risk either, but we'll see how this works out. Maybe put, let's say 70. So when I parlayed these three together, it was a little bit better than even odds. The Rockets, the Wizards, and the Warriors. A little bit better than even odds. So let's take a look at these other parlay situations. We're going to go $10 here. All right, so I'll take looking at it here. All right, so what do we have here? All right, we have 100 on the favorites to win 110. Pretty clear there. Kind of is what it is. You get where we're going. The combination of Atlanta plus 185, Houston minus 360 plus Golden State, I have it 1,500, is $10, only getting, 42. $10 to win 42. So if you get the one upset, obviously you're going to lose the 100 invested, and you only win 42 there. But at least you don't lose the bigger amount invested, and obviously better than a single money line bet. The combo of the Wiz at home, the Thunder on the road, and the Warriors. Get a 9.5, so $10 to win 95 there. Obviously, if that underdog situation takes place, you get almost all of your money back, pretty much all your money back there that you would have invested in the favorites. And you got to realize the whole point of this is to make money on your favorites. I mean, that's the point of it in general, is to be able to call games like that. And you don't even have to put the Wizards in it. You could just take a Warriors, Rockets, or whatever you want. But that's the whole point. Like, say, oh, well, you lose money if no shit, you lose money if underdogs win. You're covering your ass if the underdogs win. And if two underdogs win, you're making a shitload of money. So there's those. That's what. And then if the favorites win, you're making just like a regular amount of money. Well, actually, not even that. You're making more than you would have made on their money line because of the parlay together, including after paying for your safety bet. So it's, I think this is pretty good. I've been doing somewhat well with this. And so you got that. How about the Hawks, the Thunder, and the Warriors? The two underdogs with the Warriors was 13.5, so $10 to win 135. So if both of the underdogs win, it pays for all of the other bets combined, including these weird long parlays, including missing on the heavy favorites, and including this one that I'm about to say right here. This one was an incredible number, so I put $10 on it also. Got the Hawks underdog, the Thunder underdog, and the Blazers underdog. Was $10 to win 1,240. So 124 to 1 odds on that one. I had to take that. Obviously, probably not going to happen, but I think that if you play this specific day 124 times, it happens more than once. It happens probably 4 or 5 times. So I think that that's an easy play there. Also, just looking at it, I do like the Wiz at home. I do like the Rockets at home. I think I'm going to take the Rockets also minus 360, maybe like on just a straight money line.